Okay, we both know what you're all going to say. Hold on, Charlie, I thought the next video was going to be Resident Evil, and yes, you're correct, it is. Today I woke up feeling like shit, more so than I have been for the past week, and to be honest, I've wanted to experiment with doing shorter videos in the meantime, besides just long form videos, so there's something to watch, so it gives me an excuse to try something out for once. I want to be 100% for when I redo the Resident Evil video, so that it can be the best possible video it can be, and right now I just don't feel 100%, so I want to take a few days off, you know, try and get over whatever the hell it is, and then get back to it. So, to tide you all over for now, I have a shorter video today. So, what the hell is an incredible crisis, I hear you scream. Do not worry, dear viewer, I, Fat Man, am here to explain the masterpiece that is.
Welcome to Incredible Crisis.
Incredible Crisis is a Japanese rhythm game, I guess you could class it as, developed by Polygon Magic in June of 1999, with the translated version for North America and Europe being released by Titus Interactive later in November 2000. I would not blame you for not knowing either of these companies, neither of which have made any games that are worth noting, which begs the question, why am I reviewing a Japanese rhythm game from a relatively unknown publisher? I'm glad you asked. Let's go through the basic premise of Incredible Crisis and how the gameplay works. I'll just read you off the official description because that's about as good as an explanation as it's going to get. Incredible Crisis consists of 24 levels, or 26 in the Japanese version, spread over 4 main parts of the story, with each part focusing on one of the 4 family members, Teneo, Etsuko, Sui, I'm not good with Japanese names, I'm sorry, Tsuyoshi, let's go with Tsuyoshi, and Ririka. Each level revolves around a minigame, some of which are repetitive, others are unique, which the player must clear in order to proceed. These games range from action-based objectives, such as dodging obstacles, which are some of my favourites, and rhythm games, which are some of my not-so-favourites, to puzzle-based objectives, which again are not my favourites, such as answering a quiz or finding objects that are on sale, etc, etc. Each of these levels has a stress meter that represents how close the player is to failing the level objective, which, depending on the minigame, feels from either making mistakes, drawing closer to a pursuing object, or running out of time. A life is lost if the meter becomes fully depleted, with extra lives being earned by performing well with each individual chapter. If I had to sum up the gameplay of Incredible Crisis, I would call it the Dark Souls of rhythm games. There are a lot of minigames that will stress you the hell out and even leave you feeling downright defeated, and this game does not hold your hand at all. You are either good at the game or you're not, period. But the gameplay isn't the only driving force of the game. I mean, it is a fairly large it is a fairly large part of the game. Because it's a video game, it would be a pretty fucking shit video game without a game. It has a hilariously bizarre premise that only a Japanese game of the 90s could get away with. Like I've said already, the game revolves around 4 members of the Teneo household. The first chapter we focus on is Teneo, the dad, whose story begins with him working normally in an office job before a huge rock ball crashes through the window and comedically chases him around the whole workplace. Eventually, by falling in a collapsing elevator and balancing on a flagpole, Teneo eventually evades the ball and makes it to the ground, where a statue piece from the flagpole he was climbing on hits him on the head unconscious, where he wakes up in an ambulance with 2 medics bombarding him with impossible questions that Teneo must guess or fail. And these aren't questions that you can just easily get like that. Some of them are downright impossible. After, the paramedics throw Teneo out the back by accident, where he has to control the bed to avoid traffic. After that, the bed crashes into the boulder from before, and Teneo is helped by a sexy lady who he simps over and gives an erotic back massage to on a Ferris wheel.
Further. Oh, a little bit. There.
Eventually, she jumps off the Ferris wheel onto a helicopter and leaves a bomb behind, which then explodes, throwing Teneo onto the helicopter as well. He gets off and eventually sees a UFO with Navy ships are trying to destroy it. However, Teneo jumps onto a turret and commits mass treason by protecting the UFO from those damn Japanese government. The turret is exploded, but Teneo lands on a boat. He accidentally unplugs a leak on the boat, and he has to try and stop the boat from sinking while the driver takes him to shore. After surviving all of that, he tries to take the subway home. The woman from before is on the train and reveals she has cut the brakes. The train crashes into stuff on the tracks and finally explodes out the tunnel, conveniently blasting Teneo outside of his grandmother's Hatsu's home. The ultimate end goal for all of the family is to make it back to Hatsu's home in time to celebrate her birthday dinner. That's just one fucking family member's story. It gets so much worse from here, I promise you. Next up is the mother, Etsuko, who is probably got the third strangest story. Relatively. Yeah. Okay. She's out buying ingredients to cook for Hatsu's birthday, but pops into a bank to find it being robbed. You know, the usual. She nearly escapes by sneaking away, a la Metal Gear style, but is caught at the last second. The robbers make Etsuko investigate the vault, where she finds a golden piggy bank, but it's booby-trapped, so she must use her vegetables and other grocery items to balance out the same weight as a piggy bank, Indiana Jones style. She gives the pig over to the robbers, who force her to open it with a musical number which the guards dance with her. The piggy bank opens and explodes, forcing everybody outside. Etsuko escapes eventually into a gorge and later wakes up in a fucking military hangar. She just decides to yoink a jet and try to get home, but sees a huge bear with her daughter's name on it destroying the city, where her immediate thought is, let's shoot the bear down, and then she successfully returns home to begin cooking sukiyaki for dinner. Like, this is just a normal everyday occurrence for her, and to be fair, you never know. Third act focuses on the son, Tsuyoshi, who is out reading in a park where he sees a teddy bear grown to a giant size, who then shoots pink rays at him, which then shrinks Tsuyoshi down to the size of an ant, where he must evade spiders, mudslides and ants, as well as an encounter with the boat guy from earlier. That is essentially all Tsuyoshi has going for him. I think his is definitely the weakest out of the four. His just isn't very enjoyable at all. They really could have done more with the premise. I mean, if you're going to run with something that wacky, you might as well go all the way fucking out. Come on. The final act centers around the daughter, Ririka, who escapes her classroom to go and buy things with her friend. After acquiring this loot, she goes and sees a take a picture with a bear photo machine. I have no idea if that's a real thing. I don't know if that's a custom in Japan. Sounds pretty cool. Where a tiny UFO appears when she's taking the picture. Ririka yells at it for ruining the picture, and she tries to capture it. It shoots out a purple beam, causing one of the bears to gain sentience and grow huge. Ririka tries to help the little UFO get home to the mothership, which is parked over the port that Teneo is currently protecting with a giant turret. After, she goes on a boat ride with the same guy for the last time, before yoinking a bike and floating into the sky with the alien E.T. style. The UFO makes it home safe to the giant mothership and they fuck off, and Ririka is placed outside the house with her family, and thus the story comes to a close with a lovely final cutscene. Yeah, pretty fucking wacky, right? I mean, I love Incredible Crisis so much, and the soundtrack, my god, I haven't got to the soundtrack. If you were to ask me what my favourite video game soundtrack was, I would 100% always, without a doubt, say Resident Evil. I would always say Incredible Crisis. Just listen to some of these absolute fucking tunes. In a lot of my videos, I actually do use Incredible Crisis's OST, and I really, really recommend you to play Incredible Crisis. It's very obscure, but by God, if you can emulate, or hell, even get an original PlayStation 1 copy, then please, please do try it. It's one of the best games I have ever played, full stop, and it is very underrated. And that's going to wrap up this episode. Again, I'm sorry it's so short, but I really do want to be in the best possible shape for when I record the main Resident Evil video, so hopefully this will be good enough until then. So I will see you guys soon.